Today's episode is brought to you by Veejay Shoe. That's VJShoeUSA.com if you're going to the web. You heard me talk about them a couple of months ago. I believe many of you are now wearing these shoes. I have been wearing these shoes and really dig them. They are definitely in my rotation of go-to shoes. I like almost anything that's a solid functional shoe with aggressive lugs, and these are super aggressive lugs. Love them, love them. You also may have seen they've signed a few athletes, including the Atkins, Ryan and Lindsay, both on the Veejay USA team, and you know they would not say yes to just anything, as they are the best couple in OCR. You can still get free shipping if you order this month, and the ORM discount is, get this, $30. That's exclusive. Yes, there's an ambassador code or two floating around there. There is no discount as loud and as big as the ORM discount, as we've partnered with them this season. ORM MAR, that's like March. So ORM MAR, I'm sorry, I don't know why this is so funny to me. ORM MAR, all caps, all together, $30 discount. Get yourself some Veejay shoes. You know what else is coming? The IROC 3s. You know what else is coming? Some awesome more shoes. Go ahead, hop on there. I think they're going to have some pre-order soon. Hope I'm not saying that out of turn. That's VJShoesUSA.com.
Yeah! Get up!
Welcome to the Obstacle Racing Media Podcast with Matt B. Davis.
With over 300 episodes since 2012, Matt has produced the most consistent podcast in OCR.
Each episode, Matt speaks with race directors, athletes, and industry insiders to bring you the most in-depth interviews and conversations in the world of obstacle racing,
adventure runs, and ultra marathons. If you have small children nearby, now is the time to put on some headphones
or send them off to watch Phineas and Ferb, as there are occasionally four-letter words,
which are not bleeps. Now, here is your host.
Now here is your goddamn host.
Now here's your host, fucking Matt B. Davis.
Good day, everyone. Welcome back to the Lina podcast. I am your host, Matt B. Davis. I've got some great stuff from the weekend to bring you. But first, I'm going to play this thing that I did. So I was listening to Mark Maron's 1000th episode. If you don't know who Mark Maron is, he created a show called WTF, and he's been interviewing people for 5 years, which is how they have 2 a week, 10,000 episodes, or 1,000 episodes. Anyhow, you're going to learn my connection to this guy through this, but I was feeling very emotional and very vulnerable. And I had this thing like, I should just talk about it. I should just tell this whole story because I'd listened to his basically life over the last 5 years, which has been this massive turnaround for this guy. And so I made it. And then, of course, just like the next day, it was like, okay, I'm not going to share that. It's too vulnerable. Nobody cares. All the negative shit in my head. But you know what? I'm going to do it. It's several days later. And I'm looking at the file size right now, and it's like 20 minutes, 22 minutes maybe. So it's a lot, and maybe you don't care. So skip it if you do. If you don't care, you can skip it. Because it's long. I'm looking at it. I did not remember it to be this long. It's me walking and basically just like spilling my guts for 20 minutes. So for those of you that care about me and care about my process and care about this show and what it means to me, you can listen. And if you just came here for elite athlete interviews, you may skip ahead. Okay, on today's program, finish line interviews, Spartan, Alabama, finish line just a couple of days ago. If you pay attention to this show, you probably already know who won, but I'll list all the stuff. Sure, why not? I'll list everybody's position. And then I do, in fact, say everybody's name, or I have them say their names when they get interviewed. The only two exceptions are Faye, Stenning, and Wetzel, because as you'll hear, the interviews kind of start in the middle, where I looked down and forgotten to hit record when I first walked up to them and said, hey, Faye, blah, 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 blah. And rather than stop and make them start over, I just keep talking, so they cut in sort of weird. Now, something very interesting happens with Faye. I'll let you hear that. Something that's never happened before, and we'll see what happens there. But anyway, there's going to be this nice long thing of me spilling my guts, and if you want to give me feedback on that, that's great. And if you don't, you don't. And then we're going to get right to the finish line interviews from a couple days ago. Lots of great people, and it was a lot of fun. Hope you enjoy. Hey, guys. No one talks like that. Hello, listeners of this podcast. Matt B. Davis out on a walk here. Too much rattling around in my brain. I often forget what I'm going to say. Like, for example, I'm not very organized. I don't know if you figured that out about me or not. But I'm supposed to be breaking up with that guy. I am working every day on becoming more organized. There, that's better. So, I just listened to the Mark Maron 1000th episode. And I don't think I've told my Mark Maron story. And if I did, it was certainly a long time ago. So, I'm going to tell it now. And then we're going to get into, I'm just going to let it fly. So, as many of you know, once upon a time, I moved to Los Angeles to do stand-up because that was my one goal in life. I knew I couldn't work for the man. I had no skills. I didn't like college. I didn't like school. And I was off to make my dreams happen. In my early 20s, I moved to Boston and then to LA. And I had a room where you book comics. When you have an open mic room, it's funny looking back, like how I was kind of always a hustler / entrepreneur. I never even thought of this before, but that I just couldn't parlay it enough. Like I never even related to that I was a guy that started rooms. But of course I was. Like, of course that's what I was going to do. Like, I can't just not do stuff. When you have an open mic, you reach out to comics and you say, please come do my show. And they do it because they want to have what they call stage time. And it's a way for you to get to know comics. It's for you to trade stage time with the other people. Like, they'll give you time in their rooms, and it's usually a bunch of comics and their friends. It's not like a paid audience. So this was a pool hall. It was a place called Hollywood Billiards, and my friend Adam Grotman, shout out to Adam Grotman, said, how about Comedy Hustlers? Because I wanted it to be like a cool pool-related name, and that actually became my moniker. I had a website, thecomedyhustler.com, for a while there, and I met one Mishna Wolf, who, if you follow Mark Maron, you know that was his girlfriend, fiance at the time, and she said, I think Mark would do the room if you want. I was like, please. So I meet Mark. It turns out we're both sober. He talks about it, so I can talk about it. And, we become kind of friends. I see him in A meetings, and we hang out a little bit, and it's funny, I know the second part I'm about to tell you, but I forgot about the first part of this story. Whoa, here comes a bike. Hey. So we just kind of started becoming buddies, and, as you do, and I didn't know him. Like, I'd seen him on TV, and I knew he was, like, to comics famous, but, like, you fucking didn't know who he was. Probably didn't know who he was, unless you're at least my age or you watched a lot of Conan or whatever, because this is pre-internet and YouTube and everything else. Anyhow, I told him, hey, I just got this gig. I got hired to do these malls. I'm going to be an MC at this American Idol tour. We're going to do shows in malls. He said, you should bring a journal and, like, create, like, the mall journal and write about your experiences. There'll be a lot of good material there. So I did that. And I still have those, by the way. Maybe one day I'll read those. Holy shit, would that be bananas? A lot of insecurity and hooking up, I think, is what's in those things. But that's for later. So, then I got to see him a couple of times on that tour. At least once specifically in Florida. I was down there when he was. And so we stayed in the same, like, close area. So one night I stayed with him. He got me some stage time. We watched Quiz Show together. We talked about the anti-Semitism in Quiz Show, which I didn't really pay attention to the first 100 times I'd seen that movie. And months and months and months later, I get back from this tour, and it's time to, and I got paid good money, by the way, to do these things. One was for American Idol, one was for XM Radio. And if you want to hear about, like, more about those tours, I'll have to tell them on another episode, because that's like 20 minutes on its own, like, what those were like. But, you know, I got paid well, and I was kind of feeling like pretty good about myself. And even though, like, who gives a shit? You're doing the fucking malls and state fairs and whatever. And I was like, I don't want to go to fucking open mic. And I called him and was telling him how I was feeling. And he goes, look, why don't you stop bitching, go down to the open mic and be humble and, you know, try out some jokes. Like, stop doing that old shit you've been doing for years. And I was like, fuck, he's right. I'm going to go. Now I'm going to cry. That's the night I met Stacy. So, for that reason alone, Mark Maron and I are forever linked, right? I'm not going to go to this place because I'm too big for my britches. He says, you need to fucking go and write some jokes. And that's the night I meet. I don't know why I'm so, like crying here. That's the night I meet Stacey Davis, who was Stacey McGlennon at the time. As time goes on, we're in each other's lives. He goes through a pretty fucking rough divorce. And I can't say we've always been best buddies, right? But there's certainly some times that he called me because he was going through some shit, or I would call him because I was going through some shit, and we'd always spend time when he came to town. He'd come to Atlanta. I distinctly remember when he first started the podcast. Like, I think had heard This American Life maybe by then, but I remember he came to visit my office and he was handing me stickers. He was like, yeah, check out the podcast. And I was like, okay. And I was learning how to get it to my phone at that time because I didn't even know how to fucking do that. I'm holding the phone, by the way, up to my face as if I need it. I'm on a fucking headset. The microphone is in the headset, Matt. Ooh. Maybe it is. Ooh. I can't fucking tell. Hope you're hanging in with me, listeners, by the way. I'm on a nice walk. I was on my run. I'm on a nice walk. It's gorgeous. I'm in Atlanta right now. I'm on the Beltline. I can see the downtown. I feel like I'm going to cry even harder any second. So every time he comes to town, we hang out. Sometimes I just go to the show. Sometimes we've like grabbed coffee the night before, but like we hang out every time he's in town. One time he was in town and he didn't rent a car and he borrowed my car. And all along the way, I'm watching his success and watching him like blow up. And it's been like awesome. Like I always feel like a little kinship because, you know, clearly, again, we're not best buds, but like it's so awesome. You know, I have a couple of other friends that I know who have kind of gotten famous or gotten super successful and whatever. And it just feels really cool, right? It's just cool. So, you know, first it's Robin Williams and then it's Ira Glass. The names are getting bigger and bigger, and then he gets the president. And, you know, once in a while I'll text him and say, great job. And he'll write whatever. And, you know, I was in LA recently, last year about this time, if you recall. I actually got to see the garage because I hadn't seen it before he moved. And I asked him to be on my show, and he said no, and that's okay. I mean, like, hard not to take it personally, but it'd be nice for me to get him on my show. That'd be cool, right? Oh, boy. So, I just listened to the 1,000th episode of his podcast. And now I'm walking by somebody, and I feel super weird. But you know what? For all they know, I'm on the phone, so I'm just going to keep talking. So I just listened to the 1,000th episode, which, if you haven't heard it, hello. Hi. You should totally listen to it. You shouldn't listen to it if you've never listened to the show before. You should definitely listen to, I don't know, 10 or 20 or 100 episodes before you listen to get sort of a context of the show. But he talks about his growth as a person and what the show's meant to him and how many people has affected. And my audience is a percentage really small compared to his. But you guys, you the listener, have said things to me since the early days that I wasn't even able to accept early on. Such as, hey Matt, listening to the show, keep it up. Thanks for what you're doing for the sport. And I really couldn't even accept that or take that in for probably, I don't know, a few years. I just didn't understand it. I just got on the thing and liked obstacle racing and it seemed fun, and it's so weird, fucking obstacle racing, Jesus Christ, so random, right? It's so random, this thing that we do. If you think about it sometimes, you ever get tripped out and like think about it? So, and as time has gone on, the numbers have never jumped to some astronomical number. Let's just fucking say it. It's like 1,500 people an episode is a good episode. And that's like a month after it comes out. When it first comes out, it's between 800 or 1,000. About a month later, it jumps up to 15. And then over time, it'll go up a little bit more. But that's it. Which turns out is better than like, I think it's 95% of podcasts. 95% podcasts have like 200 people. But then there's the next level of all the people that you're famous and that you listen to and that have millions of downloads and make a lot of money. And I gotta be honest, there are times I thought I reached all of you. There were times I thought, okay, like, well, I can't hear from people all the time. Like, I know everybody that listens to this fucking show. Our OCR is like so small. And then sure enough, at almost every race, more than one person will find me and say, I've been a fan of the show for a long time, thanks. And sometimes that turns into a really long conversation because like you just finished running or I just finished running. And sometimes like, it's just, hey man, love what you do, and you keep going. And that's fine too. Like, that's like I get it. You don't have to, like, it doesn't have to be some like meaningful, deep conversation. Like, it just doesn't have to be. Thank you, Matt, is like, that's all. I said that today to a guy. All anybody fucking wants is to be acknowledged. All anybody wants is to say, hey man, good job, right? That's all my kids want. Man, this is just having some self-doubt here. And the whole reason I'm doing this is because Mark just got really deep, and I'm sure he got self-conscious about it afterwards, and so I can go there too, right? And this guy has, much more visible than me, and he cried, and he said to his partner, I couldn't have done it without you. And it makes me cry because it's as real and as open as a human being can be, and it affected me, and it made me want to start talking to you guys. Hey guys. So I know I'm not him. I know I don't have his reach. I know I'm not as good an interview as him. I know I don't have the experience of him. But I feel a kinship in how his podcast has changed him and how this podcast has changed me. Because I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I did stand up for 10 years, begging for everyone's fucking approval. Please love me. Please like me. Please hire me. Somebody give me a job in comedy. Please acknowledge me. Hey, please let me sleep with you. Like, that's all I wanted, like, in the world. Take. I didn't know it at the time. Like, that was my fucking toolbox at the time, was take. I start doing this thing from what I now know is a genuine place. A genuine place of, well, I don't know if anybody's listening, but this seems fun to me, right? But you guys were, right? You guys were listening. And then I started to get the acknowledgement that I wanted all along, that I could not. I've said it 100 times to people when it comes up. More love in 6 months of this show than 10 years of stand-up. Easily. I mean, yeah, I got laughs, but no one said, thanks for the set tonight. You made my day. You know what I mean? It just wasn't the same. Now, do I want to be liked? Of course. Do I want to make money? Of course, right? But it's coming from a very, very, very different place of I want to do this. And because you, the listener, get value from it, get news and information from it, thank me for it, are entertained by it, it fuels me. And this is how the artist and the audience member have a great symbiotic relationship. And I finally believe in myself as an artist, as this is an art. I make enough money most months to feed my family and keep the lights on and get a coffee most days Okay, now we're getting super fucking real. I'm not a great saver. I'm not a great investor. And so my wife and I are essentially, like many people out there, many of you listening, like check to check, man. Like there's months that are awesome, and then there's months that I have to borrow money. Or I've hit up friends. Many people listening to this and said, like last year I did it. Not that, 6 months ago. It was a low time, and I had a trip coming up, and I was going to get reimbursed by Mutter or whoever it was. And I was like, listen, I got to make this weekend happen, and I need a hotel, and I need to eat, and I need a couple $100. And so I hit up 10 people for $20, and it worked. And that's how I got by. And I'm super, I cannot believe I'm saying this. But what the fuck? Who cares? Right? This is a good exercise for me. I believe there's a lot more out there for me and my wife. And by the way, that's not I'm not asking you to fix this, right? This is not me asking for Patreon stuff. This is not that. This is me just telling you what's up. Because I just heard a guy or two men get really real and talk about their process and what they do and what it means to them. And I often think about doing this exact thing I'm doing, and then I don't, or I'll do it when I get home or whatever. I might not even put this as an intro. I might just put this out on its own tomorrow. I think what I want to say is thank you. It's really what I want to do is say thank you. And you don't owe me anything. You listening and letting me know it makes a difference is awesome. I'm really struggling with this part. Especially because I do ask for Patreon stuff. I'm definitely not going to right now, right? That's not what this is. I'm not going to not ask ever again, but I'm not asking right now. I just know that it's never bad to be open. It's never bad to be open and to say what's what. And I have a life that I love, and I think this is definitely part of it. They were talking about, will they stop? And they were like, we get to do what we love every day. We get to do a job that we like. So I can be negative as fuck, and I can judge, and I can complain, and I can be all those things that I say I hate. And every day that I get up and go to work, it's writing something I want to write, making a podcast I want to make, making a video I want to make, calling people I want to talk to, making sales, which I don't hate. I mean, I really don't. Would I prefer not to? Would I prefer to have someone who does the sales for me? Yes. But I know a lot of people are like, oh my God, I can't sell. I hate selling. It's I'm okay with it. It's it's fun. It's a challenge. It feels nice to talk to somebody and them say they want to give you money. But every day I could do something genuinely that I like doing. I don't know how to wrap this up. I thought I had some poetic shit to wrap it up, but I don't. I've been walking for probably 2 miles, right? It's funny. I said this recently that when they were thinking about, well, when should we stop? When should we stop? And, 10 years is a long time. And it's fucking Carson did it for 30. Letterman did it for 30, right? And these guys did a show every night. Forget this once a week, twice a week shit. They got it up every night for 5 nights a week, most of the year for 30 fucking years. So that's work. And yes, they have writers and producers and help, but I like this. I want to keep doing this. I may do other stuff. I might figure out ways to do other stuff, other shows. I have one show that already had a sort of, 7-episode, 8-episode arc, the Talking Docs podcast, rest in peace. And now I've got this Atlanta show, which, by the way, you can check out. If you're new to this show, you didn't know, I have another show. You don't have to be from Atlanta. You don't have to live here. He says, you think my interviewing style is interesting, then come listen to the Atlanta podcast. Stefano can tell you it's good. Ask that guy. I know you're listening, Stefano. Thank you for listening. Thank you all for listening. Thank you. Listen, there's limited time, right? There's a gazillion podcasts out there. I go through phases of going in and out of ones. Certain ones is. So you're taking the time to listen to me. And that means the world to me. And I think that's what I wanted to say. I think that's what I wanted to spend 20 minutes saying. Other than telling you that cool Mark Maron story, it was kind of like I wanted to say what's up with me. So that's it. I'll see you soon. Oh, Woodsy missed the spear, eh?
I know. Poor guy.
Good for you, bad for him. Did you think you were ever going to catch old Veejay there?
Old DJ? Old man Veejay?
Yeah, do you think you were going to catch him?
I don't know. I was just trying to run hard, see what happens.
He looks dead. Being serious, though. Like, he got a big lead there. You ever think you were going to catch him?
I did at the start, and then halfway through, I was like, maybe not. And then towards the end, I was like, yeah, maybe, but kind of ran out of course. But
I think you have a lock on second place points right now.
No.
Oh, okay. I don't know how math works. I'm not very good at math. Hey, Kempson, what do you think about this young dude right here?
I don't know. I guess he's fresh or something.
Oh, one of those excuses?
No, he's fast. No, I couldn't hang with him on the flats. It was impressive. He's strong, man, and he got me in the obstacles too. He's very fast.
What I saw you had an early lead, right?
Veejay and I were together, and then Veejay took off after I was slow in the hoist. A little too heavy for my little body.
What do you think you need to improve for next time, buddy?
I don't know. I didn't feel as fast on the flats today as I did last time. Just didn't feel good. But he was fast. Atkins just can go forever. So we'll see.
Good job, dude.
Boy.
Veejay.
Yeah.
All your West Coast fans, all the West Coast reporters, Heather Bodie, all those guys are like, look out for Veejay, look out for Veejay. I'm like, I don't know. What happened today?
You've always doubted me, but that's all right. That's okay. You know, I've had the reason I didn't come out to some of the bigger races, is that I can't afford to get there. So after watching Jacksonville, I had major FOMO, and I think some people were wondering how I would have done if I was there, and so was I. But hold on. But this was kind of a confidence booster. Even talking to people this weekend and talking to Robert Coble, based on my rankings in my previous races, I was not supposed to do well today. I was still performing sub, the rest of the top elites. So I just kind of came in, if I can get a solid run in, I knew I could hang. So I wasn't planning on leading it out. I actually was like, I'm going to sit behind. I was expecting Kempson or Woods to be out in front. I was just going to sit on there.
He was the first mile-ish.
Yeah, and then I went on the Herc hoist, and he started before me, but I finished 5 or 6 seconds ahead of him, and I ended up in the lead, and that's not where I wanted to be. So then I relaxed for a little bit, expecting him to catch up, and he didn't. So I said, all right, I guess I'm going to be running away. So I just put everything into it, started trying to pull as much of a gap as I could because I suck at the sandbag. So that was my plan. And everything just kind of came together. I hated the course personally, but I did well.
Why did you hate the course?
There was a lot of decent running, but when we got into the technical stuff, this southern style of woods with all these thorns and barbs in the woods, it was bad. I got cuts everywhere. I'm not used to that. I'm used to nicely groomed SoCal fire.
This is obstacle racing, my friend.
Yeah, that's true. But I had fun with it. It was definitely different than everything I've been doing. So I enjoyed it, but this is not something I'd like to do every weekend. So,
but winning now, do you think? Do you wish you came out last week because now you're the points thing and all that?
I don't really care about the series. I don't. Since there's a beast in it, I'm just not ready for the beast distance. It's going to take me a couple years to build the endurance to get to that level.
And you're patient.
And I am patient. Yeah, I'm playing the long game. I mean, endurance-wise, I still got a decade till I'm at my best. So I'm patient with it. I'm going to stick with the short stuff, like super and below, and that's going to work well for me. So maybe world championship level performances one day, but right now I'm just going to I just want to win races. I want to come to these big events and just throw down and let them know I'm here. So that's what I came to do, and I did it.
All right, these Spartan guys want you. Great job, buddy. Hey, Woods, can we talk a second or no?
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, shit, I've been resolving that spear all race.
Well, I want to get you on camera later, but just real quick, I yelled at you and said, hey, maybe you can catch these guys. Did you think you could catch these guys?
I mean, I was moving as quick as I could,
Stop for a second?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. No, I was moving as quick as I could, but you're just gassed from 30 burpees. Like, it takes you a while to get going again. I was just slowly moving past people. It was just too wide open a course. Like, people weren't going to slow down enough for me to catch them, so I fought back pretty good. I passed, at least 10 people. So, but you're missing a spear mile in a race, you're way back, so.
I noticed was there any mud out there? It seemed really flat. I mean, really dry.
No, look at me. I mean, it was pretty muddy. You'd go through some swampy sections, lots of thick bushwhacking. It had a little bit of everything out there.
You're making more excuses why you mess up things.
Do you want to hear the first thing?
Woods, I feel bad for you because you're my buddy, but it's to say every race there's something.
You want to know the first thing he said to me when I said, why didn't you catch Veejay? He's like, oh, well, I guess because I raced a couple weeks ago and he didn't.
Oh, fresh legs, huh?
The old fresh legs excuse.
I'll take the excuse. No,
last weekend?
I don't know. Maybe.
He beat Kobe and Hody.
I say that all the time.
Who are they?
Exactly.
Well, if you were going to say who would be on the leaderboard, right? If you would say, well, who's going to win the first two races? Not one person, if this was the confidence pool, had Kempson and Veejay. Right? Besides you, maybe.
Well, Veejay and I had ourselves there.
But honestly, I mean, that's pretty surprising.
No, it's I don't know. It's fun, exciting. That's what the sport's about, though, now, right? That's what Woods did the past couple of years.
Not if you're Brian Woods or you're banking on the Woodsy train.
Well, he's 40, so.
I'm averaging 10th place so far this series.
Well, there's a 1 in that.
And a 0. Just to reverse that order, I'm good.
But just for seriousness, though, do you know though? Are you 7th? What are you?
Series?
No. What were you today?
7th or 8th. I have no idea. I was so far back. I mean, even though I was passing people, I had no idea. I tried to count for a little bit when I was doing burpees how many people were passing, but it was dozens.
It's so hard now. Everything's so fucking tight that you fail something.
A mile in. I mean, it was just, they were just pouring.
I would complain about that course. It was obstacles like it was last year. Obstacles and a shit ton of running and more obstacles. It wasn't.
Veejay says he hated it.
Yeah, I don't know how you hate it and win, but.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of shrubbery and just branches. It was kind of half made into a path, and then it was also half just running into shit.
Yeah, I might have a hole in my ball sack. I'm not sure. I got impaled by a spear sticking up in my.
You're definitely second in the point system, right?
I'm first.
Oh, sorry, you're still first. Dude, 2 out of 5 races and you're first.
Damn, Veejay isn't in the series.
You're the man to beat right now.
Yeah, that's right. Big dog on campus, baby.
Woodsy's bleeding.
We're both bleeding. I just got blood on his pants.
Why are you number 40?
Because I'm 40.
What number are you?
73.
Because it's on your head.
They gave it to me. I didn't get to select mine. I'm not special.
I didn't select mine. You think I wanted to be 40?
They're gonna start putting you on fucking billboards.
Oh, good. I'll be a little bigger than I am now.
All right, real quick. Just tell me honestly, kidding aside, how does it feel to be number 1, 2? Is there 4 or 5? I keep forgetting.
5.
There's 5, and then West Virginia, and then Tahoe. Yeah. Okay, so we're 2/5 of the way there. How are you feeling about that?
I feel really confident. Honestly, I mean, Woods is kind of done now, and he is the one I'd watch. So Veejay's out. It's me and Atkins running for it right now. Nobody else has done well.
Veejay says, I don't give a F about this season. I'm going for the next 10 years, yes?
That's correct. I can. Yeah, dude.
Stopping at 30?
No, I'm just saying that's still I'm going to be at my best, and then I can slowly, peak out and start crashing and burning for another 10 years. So I think it'll be good. I'm happy about
it. What place are you today?
I took 5th. Okay. 5th place.
Do you think you can catch this young whippersnapper? I was pleasantly surprised. I'll talk to you later. I was pleasantly surprised at this guy.
Well, I mean, if you look at pure speed, man, I mean, this dude is quick. I mean, we'll see what the young buck does when we head to the mountains.
Oh,
I'll agree with that. I'm a weakling when it comes to the climbing, but I'll put some work in.
Veejay,
Veejay and I stayed in the same Airbnb, and I told him last night,
This is the winning Airbnb?
Except I got 5th. But, I told this guy that he could win this race, and, obviously I would like to win too, but he's running really well right now, and he showed it today.
How did it go for you out there?
I think
overall, good to see you. Get warm.
It went really well. I mean, honestly, the best I probably could have done today is 4th, and I finished 5th. I just got back from Paris. My body clock's like way off, so honestly, to come here and finish top 5 with all the traveling I've been doing, I'm really stoked about that.
Because you're still like whatever 3rd or 4th in the points, right?
Yeah, should be. Yeah, behind Atkins and Kempson. We're catching a break right now with Woodsy.
Big time.
Obviously.
Did you see him miss the spear?
Yeah. And I just was like, don't think about it. Because you're like, man, the Woods just missed. Kind of gets in your head a little bit. But you just got to stay kind of.
Everybody made it besides Woods. Like, everybody. It was like I got over there and everybody was gone.
When you see somebody like Woods miss a spear, man, you got to take full advantage of it and try to get as much gap between yourself and him.
Would it be accurate to say one could perhaps drop the hammer when they see that?
Absolutely. Drop the hammer.
So wait, are you already talking shit about today's winner?
No. Veejay outran everyone.
Oh, okay.
I got outran by a lot of people.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you always got Sunday. Anyways, how'd you do today? Dude, come on now.
We're past this, okay?
I bust everybody.
I understand, but I love you, Matt B. Davis.
Said a much worse thing.
I love you, Matt B. Davis.
Come on, dude. That was some brilliant timing by my part. Well, here's the deal. All these West Coasters like, wait to see Veejay. I'm like, he can't keep up with these guys. And then today he laid it down.
Well, because everyone got hurt, so I'll give him that. I'm kidding, Veejay.
Tell everybody who you are, by the way. If I don't say people's names, they yell at me. Oh, that was Ian, by the way, who I made fun of. And this is
Victor Quezada.
Victor?
This is the first time doing it with you, Matt.
No way! Victor Quezada.
Dark Horse. Remember I messaged you about terrain race?
Dark Horse, the winner of most terrains of anybody.
Because no one goes to them, that's why.
Well, come on now. I mean, Benny used to try to win, but he can't even win a terrain, right?
No, because I beat him in terrain. in my hometown of Forney, he was 10 minutes away, so it was pretty cool.
So they've got new ownership. Have you been paying attention to all the insanity, the free races and the whatnot?
Yeah, I know who Bill Spada is because I met him before. So, very nice guy, when I saw the first.
Good job, Hunter Russell.
No DQ.
Stay away from the truss. Did you see how mad he got when I made that joke? By the way, Ian Hosek.
Oh yeah, he was really mad because he wanted to come to me. That's why. You wanted to come to me. You saw Victor like. Ian, sorry. I haven't got this guy in a while, or ever at all, so you got Ian a lot. So, but yeah, Ian did good. Everyone did good.
Hang on a second, except Brakken. I got to talk to Brakken. Now, I want to get you before you go away. Brakken.
Yeah.
Jack Bauer's number one, whatever you call it. You're really high in the confidence pool of Jack Bauer's confidence pool. So is Veejay, right? Yeah. Veejay crushed it today. Young Brakken, what happened, buddy?
Ran into a group of guys a little faster than I. That's it. I just got outrun. I went out after it. I was in good position, and they were just faster.
But you're really fast. You've got long legs. You've got a beautiful stride.
Well, there's fast, and then there's like 10K fast. Yeah, maybe if we raced a half mile, I'd win, but this is an 8-mile race.
You're a gazelle.
That's true.
You're a beautiful human being.
You can be beautiful and not as fast as other less handsome men.
You don't seem bummed out, though, for real. Like, kidding aside.
I ran hard. I ran well. The sport has improved, and there's nothing guaranteed here, so these are deep fields. I did my best. It's not like I did anything wrong. I just got outrun.
So should me and you just move to the booth then, since now like we've aged out?
Well, the good thing is I'm Stadium Series here on out. This is my last U.S. race, so.
Well, I said that to you earlier, though.
Yeah.
And you said if I podium or whatever, then no. But
well, that was based off Jacksonville. They did that thing where Seattle and Citi Field are the same day, and you have to choose. And I got to go win that Stadium Series.
Right. You want to defend your crown, as you famously said.
Yeah, got to.
Did you watch that amazing video I put together?
Of course I watched it. It's my computer background. It just loops. I just watch myself.
No, not the short one from the night before. I mean the one where I put everything together.
Yeah, I watched it. Okay.
But just real quickly, talk to me about the course, because I need a quote or two about the course specifically.
The course was just brambles. It was like these beat down, cut down twigs and branches and trees, and you never had good, like, smooth footing. You were just fighting through stuff that was trying to reach up.
Hey, Nicole, you know who I said was going to win today?
Did you say me?
I said Lindsay.
What?
I'm not going to say it ever again. She's lost her number one ranking for me.
I think Lindsay will win again.
What happened to your lip?
What happened to it? Is it bleeding?
Lindsay ate 40 oysters last night, and that's what cost her the win.
I was up all night with food poisoning. No, not actually. We just had salmon and rice.
Did you try to like catch her, or do you think it was like out of reach?
No, I definitely left it all out there all race long. I pushed as hard as I could.
I didn't see you laying on the ground like Ryan Atkins.
I felt like it, but I was like, yeah, don't let them see how much pain you're in. No, I'm really happy though. Like, flat running's not my forte, so I'm actually really happy with like how my race went and everything. Yeah.
And how did it feel to be like leading the whole way again?
I thought that maybe Tia would be with me for longer, or somebody would, yeah. But actually, I felt like Lindsay was like coming back halfway through the race. Like I saw her like a little closer, and then I was like, oh man, I gotta like pick it up a little.
What did you think? What did you think over the course overall?
Not my favorite.
Nobody said that. Everyone's like, I hated it.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be anybody's favorites, but I think.
Because why? Because why?
I don't know. It's just
the death spear. Like, so they cut all the. They did a great job of clearing the course, really, but there were some sections that there was like death spears sticking up from them like chopping the trees down.
Yeah, they didn't bend. Like if you ran into one of those things, you got stabbed. I ran into one thinking it was gonna like bend for me, and it just like.
2 out of 5 races, and you're sitting number 1 in the series. Oh wait, hugs. Let's do 1, 2, 3 photo.
Yeah. You know, they asked me what I was going to do to prepare for the next races, and it's like, I'm going to train. Like, what am I going to do special?
Food.
Right, food. No, it's true. It's true.
The question is like, what's up next? And you're supposed to say like, I'm going to go to Disney World or something.
Oh yeah, I'm going to go to Disney. No, I'm not going to go. I've actually never been to Disney World, but
we're going to go to Disney World.
We should all go to Disney World.
How's the plan for the summer van going?
Oh yeah, so I'm in the I'm in the process of looking at vans right now to purchase, and then we'll do the build out stage.
Oh my god!
And then we'll be 2 girls, 1 van. Yeah.
I thought.
Oh my god, I'm so excited!
I thought it was literally the road to Tahoe, not 2 girls.
Well, okay, it's hashtag literally the road to Tahoe. Yeah.
Yes, that's good. That's good.
Do you know who's built a van for travel before?
I hear the Atkins did that.
Do you want to maybe get some tips and tricks?
Aaron built a van too, so we're going to.
Aaron, by the way, who she admitted on mic would never be allowed to live with her, and now she's like, oh, Aaron knows how to build a van.
Aaron.
Is he back? Is he back? Has he made his way into the big house?
No, he's living in a Subaru. But I spent. I don't know. Can I talk about this?
It's our new television show.
Oh wait, is this Who's on Top?
Yes. Everybody commented that they want to see that program.
I know they do. We just spent the last week in his Subaru, traveling around like Arizona and Nevada with Benji, the dog.
What are the top 3 things to living in a van and traveling in a van?
Benji third wheeling hard. Well, I don't know. I just want to say, literally, Road to Tahoe it's totally our hashtag. You guys are cramping our style. I mean, because we literally rode to Tahoe like for 3 years in a row.
It's not who figuratively rode to Tahoe, even though it's not true.
It's true.
What if you just said like literally rode to Tahoe?
Literally, yeah. We could be like literally, yeah.
Oh, and we're accepting applications for sponsors of the van. So we can have like decals in the van. We'll give little shout outs. We might do like a vlog, like a van vlog.
We have to do a van vlog.
Yeah.
Hey guys, we're just 2 girls. 10 o'clock awards. That's amazing.
Oh my god.
Never done them that early.
Wow. You can be like a traveling medic.
Yes, I'll be a traveling medic.
Wait, real quickly, how old are you?
I am 27 years old.
30.
29?
Wow. I think everybody's in their prime, and we've got Veejay, and
I have Solomon's on.
Are you sponsored by anybody? Are you sponsored by Solomon?
I'm sponsored for footwear?
Yes.
I'm currently
for footwear, she said, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm an ambassador for Solomon.
Okay. What about you?
Nada.
Veejay.
Okay. For realsy though, can we talk about the actual course though?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, no, the course was amazing. It was so great because there's all this uneven footing, and I really like that because it keeps you entertained. Like, instead of just having to run for a long time, you get to, like, move your feet all around and stay, on. I like that.
Were you third most of the race?
Yeah, I think so. Somehow everybody disappeared. early on. Yeah, I don't know what happened to them. Maybe they failed the spear?
Tia failed, what's the new thing? Helix.
Oh, that sucks. Ooh.
I almost touched the top. I was like,
which was nice, and I feel like I competed harder than Jacksonville. Jacksonville, I feel like with all the burpees, I just kind of threw in the towel.
But it's kind of like shaking off the rust, right?
Yeah, I guess. That was just a crazy course. This was a lot more fun. The dry obstacles. It was great. We all had like running partners to run with. Like someone would fill the spear, and then someone would cup, and we were kind of like running two aside in like clumps of two, kind of from the 5th place to the 10th place, which was really fun. So yeah, it was good.
Did you like the course overall?
Yeah, I did.
What happened? Did Rhea miss something?
No.
I'm just noticing there's Rhea.
Where?
Right there. Did she miss something at
No,
the race?
she was 5th.
What were you?
8th.
8th?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have that. Is that wrong that I reacted that way?
Yes, it is.
Well,
That's why I don't like talking to Matt.
She's walking away right now. Oh my God! Listen, it's because I'm so shocked. That's why. It's not because I think you're a bad person. She is literally walking away from me right now. Can I make it up to you? Ladies and gentlemen, this has never happened. I really hurt her feelings. I was just trying to say like, wow, you're so good. I can't believe you were 8th. She took it not to mean that, and now I have upset her for life.
The other obstacle early on, the game turns into, okay, plan B. How can I stay mentally tough and stay as composed as I can and go chase down like whoever versus in front of me, even if, it's not as fun as shooting for top 3, you're like, oh, now I need to like make sure I stay in the top 10. And that's important too. And that's, there's nothing different about it necessarily. You just have to keep that same mental toughness as if you were running for the podium, right? Like chasing people down, every single person.
But especially when it's a point series and you've got a whole season to like, right? So it's like
every race counts.
Right.
I remember thinking in front of me, I saw Leanne in front of me, and I'm doing the math, and I'm like, okay, I need that point. I saw Faye ahead of me not too far. I was like, you need that point too. Faye's gonna finish strong this season too. So yeah, you do the math, and you're like, okay, just every person matters. Every step matters. Yeah, your heart rate's up. You had to do burpees. Get over it. Get moving.
What's his name from? Do you watch any of the Marvel movies? Your kid's not old enough to watch Marvel movies yet, right?
I lived a very, very sheltered childhood. No, I did not.
No, but you're a kid. Like, I see everything now because of my kids. Like, I would have never seen any of them, but my kids watch them. But you know the big guy? Like, I want to say Theranos, but that's the name of that company.
Thermos? Yeah, Thermos is a company.
No, Theranos. Anyhow, where were we? Where were we? Cool. Listen, as your child ages, you will watch a lot of things that you never thought you'd watch.
You know what? Honestly, as someone who goes to playgrounds by herself, I'm glad I've got a kid so I can watch all the silly things. And I'm going home right now so I can be home all day for St. Patrick's Day to watch the parade with my daughter. So it is fun to be able to just have the best of both worlds, I feel like, and come out here, race, and then shoot home and put my mom hat back on and go dress in green and have a good silly time.
Well, and there's some Western-ish races, right, coming up now. We've got Seattle and Utah, right, are the next two?
Yeah, my hometown, Seattle. I mean, I'm living in Colorado now, but my hometown, Seattle, will be awesome, and Taylor will be there, and Tim, and I'll get to visit my parents and family and stuff.
Everybody is freezing.
I know.
You look like you're handling it okay.
I'm pretty cold. I'm actually getting over a cold. Not to make excuses, it did not affect my race at all. I was only a little cold, but I should probably head in.
Okay, go do your thing. We'll talk later.
All right, cheers. Thanks, Matt.
See you later. Hey, how's it going?
Hi, Matt B. Davis.
I don't think we can be friends anymore.
Oh, my God. My life is over.
Tell everybody your name and how you did today.
Faye Morgan. I finished the race. I don't know how I did. I failed spear. That's it. I can't even feel my hands. It was a lot colder than I thought it was going to be. What do you guys think?
For the people listening at home, she just grabbed my arm.
It was pretty hot.
All right, tell everybody your name.
Lacey Bridges.
How come you look like you didn't run the same? She's got a mud all over her face.
She's just naturally beautiful.
I just try to clean off right after the race for the photos.
Are you ready for your close-up?
Yeah, that's right.
How did you do today?
I think I got 11.
Can we talk about maybe this course a little bit? She's dying. You should go get warm. I was going to ask you questions, but you look like you're dying. I saw you miss the spear, and I got to say my heart went out for you because I saw you miss the spear at the other one, and I was like, God damn it.
No, I didn't miss my spear in the super, but in the sprint last time. I did miss my spear and gave up a whole bunch of spots because I was right in the mix. I was with Rhea that whole time, and then It's just shit fell apart.
Tell everybody who you are, by the way. Don't get mad at me if I don't.
I'm Ashley Heller. Yeah.
Okay. And all right, what about you, young lady?
I'm Cali, Schweikert. Finished the race, clean race, so that's good. I don't know where I finished. We have like no service here, so there are no like live results. But
however, I've been posting to Instagram all day.
Yeah, and that's great. I mean,
Hashtag conspiracy theory on the no signal business.
get the info to the people. So thank you.
You're very welcome. How was the course today, lady who didn't really go in the mud or just dressed up for the photo afterwards?
There were a lot of sticks, but the single track was really cool. Like, it got real narrow, and it was like, there's not room for two people. There's not room for two people.
Like taking steps and then hitting something and totally losing your momentum like 5 times in a row. Then finally getting some running going. Then hitting a stump, and then a lot of that. No hills at all, really. Just like flat, treacherous running.
I stepped on Callie's foot at one point, and I felt really terrible. I was like, I'm really sorry.
Are you wearing New Balance shorts but Innovate shoes?
Yes.
Are you sponsored by either?
Well, I'm sponsored by a running store that's sponsored by New Balance.
What about Goo?
Oh, and Goo. GU Energy Gel.
I see that.
Goo for it.
How do you have so many sponsors? Although look at her. She's like a NASCAR lady.
I didn't make the pro team, so I had to find my own sponsors.
Oh wait, she's pro CR. I think that's probably the most toughest team to get on.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty sweet spot.
It is a cool.
It kind of goes up my
We like to call it
How's it going, dude?
What's up, Matt? How's it?
Tell everybody your name.
Eric. Josh.
Usually when someone says what's your name and it's an interview, they give you like their full name, but whatever. You're just
Joshua Paul Peukert.
AKA JP_QRET.
JPuke OCR.
How was your race today, young man?
It was good. It was good.
What do you think about that course?
It was fast. Super fast. Super fast. Muddy. I liked it.
Yeah. Are you an age grouper or a regular person?
Age group.
How'd you do in your age group?
I won.
Good job. What age?
35, 39.
Dude, up top. Is there any money for that?
No, but there's maybe hugs involved.
Can I give you a hug? I want to say, first of all, that I don't want to touch your thing because it's coming through your pants right now. Also, I can't find my son. I don't know where my son went. He's probably went to get warm somewhere. But people tell me I don't talk enough to the age groupers. So can we spend a few minutes together?
For sure.
First of all, it's a huge medal. When did the medals get this big? Have the super medals always been this big?
Just the national series.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
You know how much money's in eBay right there, just in one box?
I don't know.
Can we talk about this course?
Yeah. What do you want to talk about?
I don't know. Tell me about the course.
It was good.
You're the worst interviewer ever. Have you ever watched my show?
Worse than Atkins?
Hey, guys.
Hey, guys. It was good. Fast. I ran fast. So, what else do you want to talk about?
What's your thoughts on the terrain race, bro?
I don't know, but I heard Battle Frog was coming back.
Well, now you just don't use all of them in a row. Don't use all of them in a row. You're on the Discord, right?
I'm not.
You're not on the Discord?
No, because Josh Chase said that it needed to stay high level, and I bring everything down into the weeds.
Please come. It's a lot of fun. It really is. You belong there. Seriously, you're old school. You belong there.
I'll come check it out. I'm gonna need Josh to show that link again or to share the link.
bit.ly/OCR. Just Johnny Luma.
How you doing, good sir?
The longest name in OCR.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing well.
So you whiffed the stupid monkey bar. But wait, if you miffed, shouldn't you be able to start again? What's an official start of the monkey bar?
Oh, damn. You're right. No, I mean, so what happened was I did the whole monkey bars, but I missed the bell. And the monkey bars were like half mile in, something like that.
What place were you in when that happened?
I was in the top 10, probably. I mean, we were all together. We were just like, it was just a ball of bunch of people running together. And then that probably put me in like 30th, I'd say. Pretty far back.
And what did you end up finishing?
Right behind Ian Hosek. So a couple of seconds behind him.
That doesn't tell me, that's not a number.
I don't know. I haven't checked. I came to execute and I didn't execute, so it's just like...
You crappy at obstacle racing?
No, I'm not crappy at obstacle racing. I just had a little mental lapse, and it's just like the level that you're that the sport's in right now. It's like you can't afford to have those small mistakes, whether it's like whiffing. You can't do any burpees is what I'm saying. It's like that will put you back. And then I just spent the whole race trying to run my way back, and I did what I could. And yeah, I'll be back next race.
So you don't let it like sweat you. You're just like, all right, moving on, next race.
I mean, I'm obviously frustrated, but I by no means can punish myself for it. It's like it's not something I'm happy about, But if I go about like with a just completely negative mindset, it's not gonna help me become better necessarily. It's like, yes, I admit it's a bad mistake that shouldn't happen if you're trying to run with the top guys, and it won't happen again. But I'm gonna take the positives from this race and the negatives, and I'm gonna work on top of those and bring it all to Seattle.
Tell me specifically about the course. I saw how'd it go out there. I'm not supposed to. I'm trying to get better at not getting interrupted. I'm trying to get better at that.
It's all right.
Just saw one of DWEP's guys. Anyway, talk to me about the course.
The course was very flat and fast. I personally enjoyed it. It was a good mix of just fast running and some bushwhacking, just mowed down trees and everything. And
why are people distracting us?
I don't know. And there's like really big gaps of just no obstacles. You're just running. There's like a good mile of just running. It was pretty dry. It was really dry despite, I think there's 2 swampy sections and that was it.
How are you going to do in the following races? Seattle, SoCal, Utah. Better or worse?
Better, for sure, better. The goal is to crank out a top 5 at one of these. And yeah, that's the plan. And I'm excited. I always love just testing myself. It's just an honest competition, and that's one of the reasons why I enjoy just racing.
Did you wear the Extremes today?
Yes, I wore the Veejay Sport Extremes.
How do they do?
They did great. I really like them. They're like, they don't have much, what do you call it? Just material on them, so they don't retain any water, and then they drain fairly quick. And yeah, I really like the shoe.
Do you know my son, Jackson Davis?
Good to meet you, Jackson Davis.
Jackson, how have you been today?
Good.
You cold?
Yeah. No.
He always says that, and then he does.
Oh yeah? You should do the sprint with him.
Dude, I've done many races with him. If it's this cold, I can say right now he's not going to race.
No, it wasn't cold though.
Would you do the kids race tomorrow then? He doesn't know. Well, I have faith in you, Johnny.
I have faith in myself too. Shit like this happens. Like the guys I'm racing, they've put in a lot more races than me. So like mistakes like this are gonna pop out every now and then, and learn from them. Simple as that. They've all made mistakes. Like Woodsy missed a spear today.
I know.
And yeah, it happens. But it's all right. I can live with it.
All right, good to see you, dude.
Good to see you.
Where's your homegirl Nell?
My homegirl Nell. She's focusing on the marathon, to be honest. And I don't blame her for that. She has an awesome opportunity in her hands, and she's gonna make the most of it.
I'm going back here because I like being near Ryan Woods' belly button, and
Do you think there's lint in it there? That's a game you can play. If you see somebody and you make a bet on whether there's lint in their belly button, and then you go and verify, and you see who's right.
that sounds like a crazy game. Did you listen to the Mammal song?
I did listen to
That was the whole reason why I wanted to talk to you today.
Oh, no.
That's not really the whole reason I wanted to talk to you today. But you see why I thought you would appreciate them?
No, totally. I can totally see. Yeah,
It's like they have like a fun scientific learning mind,
yeah, they absolutely do.
much like you.
Yes. That is correct.
Are you happy with your placement today?
I'm very happy. It was super fun. I fell like 1,000 times, but I'm very happy. I ran a clean race, and I felt great at the end. So
If you don't run a clean race, you are not. I mean, that last race was kind of the exception, but if you don't run a clean race, no one's making the podium, basically.
Totally, yeah. Yeah, except for last race, because a lot of people run a clean race. Yeah.
My hand is cramped up. Tell us about the old lady you're staying with.
Oh, she's so nice. She came down the stairs to let me in, and it's. I think she has some osteoarthritis because it kind of bothers her to go down the stairs. But she's very kind. She lives in this giganto house, and her kids don't visit her that often these days. But she cooks up some tasty fish, and hopefully they'll come visit her more.
All right, well, just break down the race a little bit for me in terms of like. Were you in third from I saw you guys at the spear. What happened before the spear?
I don't really know. There was a big bunch of people at the beginning. I wasn't in like the leader pack, and then somehow around the spear, after the spear, I was then like in third, and then and Alyssa was behind me pretty close for a while. I don't really know what happened, but everybody kind of fell back at the spear. Oh, okay. So Tia failed the spear and the helix, and then a couple people failed the spear. So I think that really spread us out and separated the front, like top 3 or 4 from everybody else.
And did you think you could catch Lindsay or Nicole?
I don't know. I was kind of just chilling, running my race. Like I fell a bunch, as I said. Like I don't know. I wasn't really thinking too much about that. I was kind of like, just keep running. I liked the uneven terrain. That was fun.
Can you sing a verse from the Mammal song?
Mammal. How does it go?
Mammal.
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 Dolphin and dog. Koala bear and hog.
Dolphin and dog.
You don't know the song.
Bear and hog. No, I'm just imitating you.
James Marcum.
And you are representing who today?
Endurance Project with Dennis Welch.
And did you represent it well?
Third place podium in my age group.
Dude, what's your age group?
55 to 58, 9.
Great job, dude. Are you freezing?
Right. I'm all right.
It's Jason. He's freezing. Listen, I'm freezing too. Let's get out of here.
Florida. We're from Florida.
Yeah, this is freezing
this
for
is
us.
blood.
You know.
Did you fail anything today?
Yeah, failed 2. Yeah.
And you still got in the podium?
It's Endurance Project.
I'm just saying, I want to be in that age group. If you can fail 2 and make the podium.
It's spear throw, and just one of those races, you know. Sometimes you do well, sometimes you don't.
What has Dennis taught you? How has he benefited you?
I think the best has really helped me has been the tire pulls, because it's really helped me with my running form. And it's a great warm-up anyway, but also just doing a lot of running, but not doing a lot of running, which has really helped. And it's really helped me with my endurance. I haven't had an injury, so it's been a real plus. And the workouts are super challenging, so it keeps me going, which is nice. And I all the time too.
Listen, I'm going to be 47 in a couple of weeks. So I look at guys a little bit older than me, and I think, like, okay, I'm still, anytime I get down on myself when I see a young 20-something, then I see guys older than me, and it gives me a lot of hope.
Oh, yeah, I'm 57, so it still works good for me. It's still a lot of fun.
What do the next 10 years look like for me?
It looks good, I think. You'll do well.
No, I just mean in life. Like what was 47 to 57 like for you?
Numbers are irrelevant. It just really depends on how you feel. And you just stay in shape, keep doing your thing, keep your weight down. It makes no difference when you get older.
I just mean life, man. I don't care about racing. What's the next 10 years of life look like for me? That's what I'm asking.
Make sure your kids get into school and move out, and don't move back in the house, and life will be great. Oh, yeah. Want me to talk to him later?
I figure they're probably going to come back at least once, right? There's at least once failure to launch. Like a girlfriend situation doesn't work out, or the college thing, they come back at least once, right?
Oh, yeah, but for sure. But, when your kids are this young, it's the best part of your whole life. It really is. But being in your 50s, it's no big deal. Really, just stay healthy, do the right thing, and running these races have been a lifesaver for me.
All right. How do you spell your name?
Marcum, Marcum.
Can we find you on Instagram?
No, but I'm on Facebook.
Okay. Good talking to you, dude.
Hey, thanks a lot.
I'm going to go get warm.
All right, see you.
Thank you so much for listening. I want to remind you to check out the Patreon, patreon.com/Obstacle Racing Media. It's a way for you to support this show. There is a link in every single show description, show notes there on iTunes. I hope it is in other channels. This weekend is Bone Frog, Alabama. I'll be driving there. Looks like with Clayton, with JD. Should be a hoot and holler. Look for some Instagram stories there. But here's what else is coming, okay? Ninja Warrior tryouts are back. They were here 2 years ago. I'll be getting some content from there that I won't be able to play for you until the show airs in several months, but that's what's coming, and I'm just going to go ahead and shoot the calendar. Next week, Savage Race, Georgia. I'll be there. Come find me. ORM Tent will be there. Come find us. Next week, My birthday weekend, Los Angeles Mutter. Come find me. The next weekend, Spartan Race, Georgia. I'll be there. Come find me. The tent will be there. Come find me. Next weekend. This is like, what's his name's show? What's his name? Who does this a lot? Those guys, Caitlin and Mike. 20th, looks like I don't have anything. Probably filled with something. The next weekend, also nothing. God, something's got to be coming. Ooh, Warrior Dash. May 3rd and 4th. Tennessee. That's a lot of good stuff coming up, guys. All right. Thanks for listening. Oh, and give me some feedback. Give me some feedback on this episode and what you thought of me pouring my heart out. And if you want to hear more of that, I can do more of that. More pouring of the heart if you'd like it. Okay. Love you, Miss You Mean It. I have got to run.